AITA to divorce my wife after she said she wanted to send our son to a conversion camp? My wife hates her only son because he came out as gay. This is a pretty heavy situation, and I'm really confused and disgusted. Honestly, because I never thought my wife was like this. My wife, 44-year-old female, and I, 45-year-old male, have been married for 14 years. We have 2 kids, a 16-year-old son, let's call him Noah, and a 12-year-old daughter. We've had our fair share of disagreements over the years, of course, but things have generally been smooth between us. Now, for the context, Noah came out as gay about a year ago. It was a surprise, and as hard as it was to accept, I love my kids more than anything and just want their happiness. My wife visibly didn't take it well, though. She was upset and seemed to go through a grieving period where she didn't really talk about it. I tried to support Noah in every way I could, telling him that I loved him no matter what, etc. My wife, though, I could tell, wasn't on the same page. She would say things like this is just a phase, or he needs help, but I brushed it off as her needing time. Fast forward to last week, and we were having a conversation about Noah's future. Out of nowhere, my wife casually mentions that she's been looking into conversion therapy camps and thinks it might be the right solution. She said that Noah isn't truly gay, that he just hasn't been shown the right path, and that this could fix him. My blood ran cold. Obviously, I was in shock. I immediately told her I didn't agree and that this was not something I could support. She got upset and said I was enabling Noah's confusion and that if I really cared about him, I would help him get better. She was persistent, and no matter how much I tried to explain that conversion therapy is harmful, like I know those kids get abused and often end up either traumatized or killing themselves, and that I would never send our son to something like that, she wouldn't back down. If I'm being 100% honest, I don't even think I love her anymore. The fact she could be so heartless disgusts me. I know being gay is not easy, and people like her just make it even harder. I'm considering staying only for our daughter's sake, but would it be okay if it means hurting my son? It feels like a betrayal to Noah. I just don't think I can keep living with someone who thinks this is okay. Update 1. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone here for all the help and advice I've gotten under my post and in DMs. Sorry if I couldn't answer everyone. There were just too many people. So, I posted something about my wife wanting to send my son to a conversion camp 2 days ago. First of all, some people told me to show her videos and documentaries about what happens there, but this argument has been ongoing for more than a week now. I've shown her things, and she won't budge. Update 2. If I can be honest, let's get into it all. All of you told me to try to get him out ASAP. Y'all were definitely right. Yesterday, I took the day off and went to see an attorney just to get some info about divorce, etc. But after what happened, I'm 100% sure I want a divorce as soon as possible. Yesterday, I went to pick Noah up at his school, and, as many of you suggested, we had a long discussion. I basically told him his mom and I may be getting a divorce because she wants to send him to a conversion camp, but I can't accept that. I've talked with her many times, and I told him I'll probably go through with it. He looked really hurt. My heart broke all over again, but he was very understanding and thanked me for standing up for him. I pulled him into a tight hug and told him I'd always love him no matter what, and that nothing was his fault. At that moment, he started crying because he was so glad at least I was on his side. I'm very pissed, so sorry if I don't make sense, but apparently his mom had been pressuring him for months. She planned dates with girls to try and fix him, and he had to lie by saying he was going to a friend's instead. She was saying he needs help, and as much as she loves him, he needs to get his condition cured, etc. I feel so bad because I've been so oblivious to all that, and I've failed to protect him for all that time. How do you make your 16-year-old son go through that? So when we got home yesterday, I can't lie, I was furious and confronted her right there and then. At first, she was trying to explain she was doing it for him, but her speech quickly turned to slurs, and it was clear she was just ashamed of having a gay son. In the end, I told her I went to see an attorney and that learning all that just confirmed I wanted a divorce. She got really angry, calling me a delusional disgrace. We argued a lot, and at some point, Noah tried to separate us, but my wife punched him multiple times. She was saying disgusting things like he's dirty and that it's all his fault we're getting divorced because his filth corrupted me. My daughter, who was probably in her room, came to see what all that commotion was about and was rightfully horrified. She quickly called 911 when I told her to. Long story short, the cops got there and took her away. She was very reluctant to go because she was not in the wrong and they needed to let her go. I explained everything to my daughter, and she doesn't want anything to do with her mom anymore. Right now, I'm in the hospital because my soon-to-be ex-wife broke my rib while I was restraining her. I should have probably gone as soon as the cops took her, but I don't care. My son was crying with a black eye and a split lip. They were checking for any concussions, and obviously, the only thing I cared about was to comfort him because I can't even imagine what it can feel like being beaten by your mom for being gay. I'm planning to file for full custody, of course, and my kids don't want to see her ever again. Anyway, given all the charges she's facing, I hope she won't stand a chance against me. I just sent a mail to my attorney, and I hope the procedures will be fast. I've also thought of getting CPS involved, but I'm not sure they will really help. I cannot understand how you can grow so resentful of your own kid because of something they can't control. Even I had pretty strong opinions about it, but as a father, it is my role to unconditionally love my kids, and so I learned about the topic and changed my way of seeing the world. For him, it took some time grasping it, but I never doubted 1 second the love I have for my child. I thought it was the same for my wife. Visibly not. Update 3. A little over 2 weeks ago, I posted about my soon-to-be ex-wife putting both my son and me in the hospital because he is gay. First of all, I'd like to thank everyone for the support and advice we've received. The kind words were overwhelming. Now for the update. It's been difficult ever since, but don't worry, this is not a bad update. First of all, I was able to get an emergency custody order. I'm very, very relieved because many of you warned me about how people can have their kids forcefully taken by those conversion camps, and I'm relieved that she can't do that anymore. I'm still overly anxious and only leave my son alone when he's at school. I've instructed all the teachers to make sure no one but me approaches him. Thank God, my boss has been understanding on the matter. I've been granted exclusive use of our house as well, so I've changed the locks and installed security cameras. Many friends and family members from my side, of course, have been visiting often to give us both emotional support and safety. Many of you also advised me to document every injury that my son and I sustained. Fortunately, my son didn't suffer a concussion, so I took plenty of pictures and gave them to my lawyer. She has also taken mine, my son's, and my daughter's testimony. Given all the charges my wife is facing, child abuse, both physically and emotionally, neglect, endangerment, assault and battery, hate crime, and domestic violence, it doesn't look very good for her. Our lawyer is confident that I will 100% be granted full custody. She also said that it's likely soon-to-be ex's attorney will recommend that she give up her parental rights, given the overwhelming evidence against her. Also, it's very likely that my son and I, possibly even my daughter if she asks for it, will be granted a restraining order against her. My lawyer has told me CPS involvement will only strengthen my case as they are thoroughly investigating everything. While we're still waiting to get the court date, I am feeling highly confident and relieved for the first time since all that happened. I've gathered tons of overwhelming evidence against the toxin, thanks to that person who came up with that name. I'll keep everyone updated, and thank you again for all the advice and support my kids and I have received. I honestly don't know how I could have gotten through this without all of you. Y'all just saved a family. Be proud. I have been the victim of racism so many times. Why would I go on to be racist? She then was like, OMG, you don't need to be so rude about it. Then she even started crying right at the table, and her boyfriend, who was next to her, started getting angry at me for making her cry. I told him, excuse me, did you see what just happened right now? Your girlfriend tried to accuse me of something without even knowing me. My friend came back to the table to find her other friend crying and asked her what happened. She said I was rude to her, and I told my friend what had actually happened. Another one of my friend's friends, who saw everything, backed me up while the boyfriend of the girl backed her up. It was chaotic, and my friend didn't know what to do. The girl continued to be dramatic with crying, so I had to cut my time short. I asked the server to give me my bill, and I headed out. I sent a long text to my friend, fully explaining myself afterward and apologizing to her for playing a part in ruining her dinner. Her response afterward was a bit cold. I feel like our friendship might be affected by this incident. I do feel bad that our dinner didn't go smoothly, partly because of me, but at the same time, I did feel the need to defend myself. Comments from users. Commenter 1. NTA? That person just sounds like an unhinged wado who enjoys starting drama and playing the victim. Commenter 2. NTA. You look like a racist? That's the weirdest racist thing I've heard in a while. See, that's the thing. What the girl said to Opie is actually racist. It was cleverly disguised racism by accusing Opie of racism. But when you look at a person of certain background and say you look racist, that's actually racism. Commenter 3. NTA. She accused you of being racist for no reason, and you had every right to defend yourself. It's her fault the drama started, not yours. Unless you were wearing Klan robes. How do you look racist? Commenter 4. NTA. A friend is jealous of your friendship and wanted to eliminate you. Your friend took the bait. Sorry, these are not good people. Commenter 5. NTA. I have 2 simple rules. Anyone who wants to prove a point during a discussion and starts a sentence with "I feel" is a waste of my time. What follows that phrase is always. Women who weaponize their tears for sympathy during a discussion are not worth wasting a second of my life on. Commenter 6. Your mistake was the way you responded. Here's the response you should have used. No, I am not racist. You look like a slur. Of course, I don't believe this ever actually happened, but it's a cute conversation starter.